Hello, and welcome to my capstone project presentation. My name is Lawana Janine Knight, and I am presenting my presentation on teaching digital citizenship in the classroom. I am in the Instructional Technology Education Specialist program at Kennesaw State University, and I plan on graduating this fall 2018. To get started, I did a needs assessment and looked at some previous data to determine we had a problem at my school. So the problem I attempted to address with my capstone was based upon the fact that students lack appropriate digital citizenship skills, which has then increased and led to technology-related problems in the classroom. And again, this was created based on teacher opinion, teacher thoughts, conversations with teachers about some of the biggest issues that they've been facing in the classroom. Therefore, I determined there was a need. And I discussed this with colleagues to determine exactly what the school needed and what teachers needed. And I decided that teachers needed professional learning to address a few issues. One, to increase teacher awareness of problems associated with student use of technology. Two, to enhance teacher understanding of digital citizenship. Three, to increase the use of technology in teacher instruction. And four, to strengthen teacher ability to instruct students to use digital information and technology appropriately. So this is the task I decided to take on and goals I attempted to accomplish throughout my, progress in completing the capstone. With that in mind, my capstone project plan, part of my plan was to create a shared electronic portfolio of links that would include technology resources that explain digital citizenship. And I was able to come up with this by writing my proposal. So my proposal is linked here as well. So if you click on it, it takes you to the proposal. And my proposal helped me formulate the ideas and what I wanted to address. So that will come up in just a second. So the proposal, again, included me explaining the setting and context of my school, as well as stating the problem and need and the rationale for the problem, and then basically coming up with objectives and goals in which I intended to try to address. And everything was aligned to the Professional Standards Commission standards, PSC, and the ISTE standards, Instructional Technology Standards. And so you can see if you scroll through that, it kind of tells you everything about that. And then it also has a project description that describes the project and the ultimate goals, and then a timeline, which was important in keeping me in track and finishing all this stuff. So all that information is there, as I stated before. And so the electronic portfolio is also linked, and it has certain resources or references that you can refer to in order to address digital citizenship and learn how to teach it. It has some games on there. It also has, if you look, some videos, professional learning presentations I included on here in a section for comments. So as we continue, this is the plan. Number one, I wanted to administer a pre-training survey to assess teacher opinion and their needs and how comfortable they were with technology, what they knew about digital citizenship, and how they felt students interacted with technology. Secondly, I would develop and deliver professional learning sessions, and session one, session two, and session three. Originally in the proposal, it was supposed to be 4 sessions, but once I got the results from the pre-training survey, I was able to blend a couple of concepts and create 3 sessions. At the end of each session, I administered a short digital quiz in which I created for each one of those sessions, and I'll show you that stuff in a minute. 4, I completed professional learning evaluation, so I created evaluation surveys over the entire PL session for each of those, so there are 3 of those. And the 4th thing was to administer a post-training survey. Post-training survey was similar to the pre-training survey, but the purpose was to compare the results pre-training and post-training to see if the goals have been accomplished, the goals of increasing teacher awareness of digital citizenship, increasing knowledge of how to teach lessons on digital citizenship, and generally making teachers more comfortable with using technology in the classroom. So just a quick look at the pre-training survey. It had questions on here, a gamut of questions just about are you comfortable using technology, all the way down till you get to, this is the biggest part because this allowed me to create my sessions. They had to choose the top 4 pressing issues, and then I was able to look at the results and combine some issues because I noticed that there were about 5 issues that were pretty much tied. So that's what the pre-training survey led to me. And then I actually asked them about their interest in receiving professional learning on digital citizenship as well. Also left a comment section. So that was a pre-training survey. The session 1, for the sessions, each session, I had to create the presentation, the Google Slide presentations, but I also had to come up with titles and activities. So as I go along, you can see stuff here, the essential questions, the warm-up, you use a Padlet on here, then there's an activity on cyberbullying, websites that has some social media, and just the content. So I had to do everything about here, create a mini lesson, create the handouts that we use, find the videos, create some of the activities in conjunction with other work I've done before. So here's like the role-playing activity for this particular session. So you can see it deals with some role-playing, and you can have activities. And this one was in conjunction. Scenarios were taken from Power to Learn's teacher guide. So that was session 1. And like I said, each session it had a cool down. This is a collaborative document that I had teachers write information in. I created this as well. So I use Google Forms, Google Documents, things of that nature to create my task. And here's a short quiz I was talking about. So if you go click on the bit.ly, it brings up the quiz in Google Forms. And this is the one on peer conflict and cyberbullying. So each professional learning session had a 5-question short digital quiz to assess the content of the professional learning, to just make sure that I taught what I said I was going to teach in the professional learning, and that they took away information from the professional learning. So, and then at the end, again, the evaluation survey that I created, again, it's going to ask, did the professional learning accomplish the stated goals? And it just has other questions. Where are you at the end of the professional learning? So all those were administered after the professional learning sessions. And so that is the first session. So as you continue going, the second session is going to be chock full of activities as well. And so will the third. So the second session was on whose work is in any way copying, plagiarizing, and cheating. And then you have the essential question, the warm-up, which is my school's framework of how we set everything up. Definitions, this is the mini lesson. And then again, Google Documents and links to activities or pages that would help them avoid plagiarizing. Worksheets I created, identifying plagiarism worksheet, that's one. Then you have some other things like a cool down. I was able to create a plagiarism quiz, so you can kind of play a game to understand some information about plagiarism. So all these things were interesting. That one's not really coming up, but that's okay. And then short quiz again. It's going to be a 5 to 6 question quiz on plagiarism and copying and all that stuff. So that again. And then the last thing would be the evaluation survey, which again is going to ask them, did a professional learner accomplish the goals and objectives? Where are they now? Do they have any comments or additional questions? And that was the session 2. So as you can kind of get a hang of it, session 3 is pretty much going to be the same format with my instructional framework at my school. Grammar, spelling, punctuation on mine. So this one was about email etiquette. Essential question, why is email etiquette important? I was able to create an email to kind of put it in there, and so we could assess it, whether or not it was appropriate email etiquette or netiquette. And so again, I created everything, mini lessons, basic principles, formatted everything. And these were just lessons. I did a email etiquette sort. So I also did one of those. They had to put these in particular categories. And as you can see, everything cooled down. So the evaluation survey, short digital quiz, evaluation survey. So those things pretty much didn't change. And lastly, I did a post-training survey that mirrored the pre-training survey again to assess whether or not the professional learning had been effective. And overall, it turns out that most teachers enjoy the professional learning and it pretty much was effective. So I feel like I accomplished those goals. The evaluation plan, there was evaluation throughout the entire process. So you say no, cyberbullying, again, that's kind of a recap. But the evaluation process was all throughout with my short digital quizzes I evaluated, with the evaluation survey, and with the post-training survey. Also, I was able to evaluate whether the digital portfolio was being successful, or whether or not people were looking into it. The capstone experience, I accomplished my goals. I met most of the objectives, and I really feel like teachers learn more about digital citizenship and feel comfortable using their knowledge to deliver this digital citizenship lessons. So my reflection, so the evaluation results pointed out that the pre-training survey was valid. The short digital quizzes proved that the content was simple enough, but it was good enough and it was effective because most teachers did very well. The post-training surveys told me that teachers did gain some information. And the professional learning evaluations told me that the issue I started to address was very appropriate in what teachers wanted to do. I wish my digital portfolio would have been better, and I would like to add more links to that as well as I'm going along. But overall, I felt that this project helped me go just from being kind of like a teacher who uses technology to really a technology leader. I feel like I grew with my skills, and my skill level improved, and my knowledge on technology improved. And also I learned some things about digital citizenship that I didn't know that I needed to learn. So it was interesting doing this. I really felt like I grew as a teacher and that I'm able to be a teacher leader. That's what was important, because I was able to collaborate and share some things with teachers and practice patience and do all this other stuff, which I previously hadn't. So this was the presentation of my capstone project on digital citizenship. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's my copyright acknowledgments of all the things I use. Thank you.